So this helps to reduce the amount of weeding I have to do in the garden. If you plant peanuts in the container like I do, you want to mold them up. See how strong and fat these corns are? Moisture need to be on them all day. Guys, I've been doing some work without you. I have a cucumber right here that I made a trellis for, but I had to do it in a rush, so I didn't get to record it with you, but it is putting out tendrils, so I had to make the trellis for it. Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Marie, and this is our container garden. I've been molding up some corns. I'm starting right here, but I'm going down to the lower section, the upper lower section as well, to mold up some corns that we have growing down there. And I'm sharing it with you because quite a few persons asked me before what I meant by molding up the corns, and so I'm going to share that with you. There's also another cucumber, cucumber. Jamaicans call it cucumber, guys. Well, I have another cucumber over there that I also trellised, and those are doing fantastic. So just wanted to share that with you before I forgot. All right, so I'm going to mold up this corn first, and then we head down to the lower section. So corn, they grow their roots on their stems. They have lateral roots, obviously, but they grow roots on their stems. And so as the corn comes up, they'll put out roots and try to find their way down. I'm not seeing those yet, but the corns, they are weak, and I'm seeing where the roots are going to come out. So usually at that time, I provide them with more soil for the roots when they start coming out, in order for them to get additional nutrients, so we get lovely ears of corns. And if you've been here at Farming on the Rocks with us for any amount of time, guys, you know I get really lovely ears of corn from my, apart from helping to pollinate them, I think it's due to the fact that I mold them up, and I grew up seeing my parents molding up corns. So what molding up is actually illing, making a ill around the roots of the plants. All right, so you can see where the surface of the soil is right here. This is the soil level, and I'm going to mold this one closest to you so you can see what I mean. So here's the soil now. Can you see that little mountain? So that's how deep in the soil the corn is now. And then I'm going to mulch these because I'm molding. The mulch kind of broke down already in here, so I'm going to have to remulch to keep the moisture in the soil. As corns are heavy feeders, they need a lot of moisture for them to produce those juicy ears of corns. So I'm going to remulch these, and I'm making a hill around all of them. I also have a cucumber in there. I'm also molding that up. Speaking of that, let me mold up these because I'm seeing roots. The cucumbers also has roots on their stems. So let me just mold up these as well. I need to use this too. Guys, I have turmeric in here. the turmeric started growing right after I planted the cucumber. So they're coming up over the soil now. They're coming up out of the soil now. Guess what? These cucumbers will be ready and out way before these turmerics are ready to produce. I'm gonna just rake it in with my little fork here. Oh, one of you asked me where I got this sturdy fork. This is so heavy and sturdy. It is from the brand Fiskars. The same brand I walk with my pruner because there's always something to prune. The same brand that I got my pruner from, that's where I got this one. And this comes in a 3-pack. It comes with 2 little hand trowels and this. Well, one broad one, one narrow one with measurements on there, and this one. And I'll link them in the description. I'll link this as well, so you're able to get them online. But these, I had one before, you guys knew it. Every time I tried to dig with it, it would bend backward. These are really, really sturdy. And this video, it is not sponsored. These are just tools that I am enjoying in the garden. So, and then I have those of you who, whatever Marie use, you're going to use it. So, or you're going to try and use something similar. So I share them from time to time. That's it. It's not sponsored. All right. One more over here. The more access it has to the soil, once your soil is rich, the more they will produce. So let's hope for the best with this. All right, let's head down back because we have loads of corn down there that we need to mold up before the sun gets too hot on us. Oh, I forgot I had these peanuts I need to mold up as well. Let me mold up these before I forget them. Yeah. So I'd already placed some mulch in here. That's what I kind of lasagna layer my soil. So whenever I'm molding, I put mulch. Then when it drops, I put soil. Then when the soil drops, I put mulch. And so it has a rich layer of composted material, organic material between the layers of soil, and it also aerates the soil. But the peanuts, once you see the pretty yellow flowers start to come on the peanuts, whenever those fall off, a little peg grows in the place of that flower or right next to the flower, and those pegs anchor themselves down in the soil, and those produce, each one of those produce a peanut. And so you're able to get much more when you mold them up. Had I plant them in ground, I wouldn't need to do this because they would, some persons still mold them, but they would lie on the ground and anchor themselves and produce. But because they're in containers, they grow up, competing with each other for the sunlight. And so I need to mold them up to provide that soil for them to anchor in to give me much more peanuts. And that is how I managed to get so much peanuts from one container. I harvest a lot of peanuts from these 2 same containers and from other areas in the garden. So if you plant peanuts in the container like I do, you want to mold them up. Once you see those pegs start coming out, that way you get much more peanuts from your plants. Right, so I'm going to just do one with you, and then I basically will be repeating myself for the other plants. So I'll do one with you and then move on to the corns. Don't want to bore you, don't want to run your way. What are you planting, guys? Some of you are planting in your basements, getting ready for spring. For those of you who are experiencing cold weathers now, guys, do your thing. But for those of you who are able to plant, what are you planting now? What are you planting with me? And guys, there's a new feature on the YouTube platform, well, on my channel, where I'm not sure if it's available for all yet, but if you go on my channel, you'll see that community tab. Click on that and you're able to share your garden pictures with me. All right, so I think I'm going to go live and try to explain it more clearly because some of you don't understand how to do it. And I want to be, we don't do Inspiration Wednesdays anymore, but I want you to be able to share your garden with us still. And so I'm going to try and explain that better for you so you're able to take advantage of that facility. All right, guys, remember to share this video for those who are not watching so they're able to access that feature. I'd love to see your pictures posted on my community on YouTube. So make use of that, guys, and share your successes in your garden. All right, so those pegs are able to access soil. And then of course I'll mulch this again. These are doing so well down here. Guys, the food forest down here coming on, don't it? All right, so this container right here, it has 2 corns and a noni in between. And we just place the corns in there because they are quick crops. Corns take 3 months to be ready. And so the noni is gonna be there for years. So when we take out the corn, and I'm always going to what you call companion plant. That's not really, they're not really going to be benefiting each other, but just utilizing my space. I'm going to always maybe plant pumpkin or squash with the fruit trees down here. Just provide them with enough nutrients so both will do well. Because the trunk of the tree will be in the middle. So I'll have space around to always put a 1 or 2 seed in there to kind of cover some section down here. Keep it cooler. Know what I mean? All right. Same thing, I'm gonna mold up the corn and then remulch. Or I might just pull back the mulch from these, mold up and then pull it back over. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'll use my handy dandy fork and do that. Wow, there's so much life buzzing around down in here. That is what we want to see. Wow, awesome. All right. Seeing ants in here. The ants love the corn. Boy, they can't get a break from the ants. Just mold them up like that and then pull back the mulch around it. Keep down in there moist. I use the organic pesticide that I make to spray the ants, but it don't get rid of them for a very long time. It is when you don't use the harsh chemical that is the constant battle that you fight, because the pests they come back around. That's one of the drawbacks from using organic pesticide in your garden. You have to keep doing it quite frequently. The soil in this one dropped the worst, so this might take all of my material to um to fill up this one. This one I'm just going to remulch. And guys, you said I was to plant sorrel. There are little sorrel plants coming up in this one. I do plant sorrel, but it's a seasonal thing for us in Jamaica. Sorrel is for Christmas, so we plant it about late March, early May. Late March, early April, for it to be ready for Christmas. There are 2 plants in there, 3. I don't want to cover them. I don't want to cover them at all. This is regular topsoil mixed with horse manure, and I think a little charcoal is in there and a little ash. That is mulching and fertilizing at the same time. How is that? So that is how you keep your corn nice and fat and not weak and turning over, because these needs to be strong as the wind comes in from the east there and it is brutal on them, so they need to be really strong. And so the more you mold them up, the more they anchor themselves down with the roots. They send down roots similar to the pegs in the peanut, but it is to give them a strong foundation for those 2 and 3 years of corns, right? Yes, one to go. No, no, two to go. What was I thinking? Right. And this is all the fertilizer I give my corns. You see how nice and fat they are? They were planted in this um and then molded up in the same thing. I'll just put some additional mulch in here. Oh, and the mulch, the worm casting and stuff. Oh, that's something else that I add. The mulch that I use is from the woods next to me, and it has a lot of worm casting in there. It's like mulch. It's like compost, I should say. So plant a corn in some rich compost. Put some manure on them along the way. Mold them up. Give them plenty water. Mulch them so that the moisture is retained in the soil. And your plants, your corn should do well. Watch them for ants and aphids. There's a special type of aphids that love the corns as well. Watch them for that. Spray those with soapy water and get rid of them, because they can suck your corn, suck all the nutrients from the corn, and your corn won't do as well, or they'll give it disease. So watch out for those things in order to get your maximum from your corns. There's a gungo peas in the center here. So when the corns are done, gungo peas will take over. And those plants, gungo peas, I don't normally plant until April, and they're ready by December. But because I had seedlings growing all over the garden, volunteers, I just planted them out. But there's no need to plant them for December before April. It's when my parents usually plant it. All right, last one. I'll mold that one without you because it's the same thing I'll be repeating again. I'm going to remulch to ensure that, as guys, the sun is brutal up here, to ensure that the soil remain moist. A mulch. Mulch is a gardener's best friend, aside from rain. Aside from rain, water, mulching is so important, especially in hot climates like the one I am living in Jamaica here. See how strong and fat these corns are? Moisture need to be on them all day. Mulch, thick mulch on there, and then this will break down and provide valuable nutrients to the corns. This will help with the weeds as well, because even though I plant in containers, I still have problems with weeds growing in them. So this helps to reduce the amount of weeding I have to do in the garden, in my containers. Believe it or not, I still have to weed. Not as much as in ground, but weeding is still an issue. Awesome. That one don't need any mulch. I pull back the mulch in this one, so this one is good to go. Let's not forget the peanuts now. This is what a typical morning here at Farming on the Rocks look like, and more. I didn't have you with me, I'll do cover so much more already. So every morning to try and race with the sun to do as much work in the garden as I can. I can manage to eat out here, and then I have the rest of my daily activities that I need to take care of. So garden is just a fraction of what I do each day. Okay, so I have a few little bits that I still need to do before I'm done out here this morning, because I'm going to water in those that I just planted. And I planted a whole bunch of peppers and stuff last night that I'm going to have to water and cover from the sun. So I'm going to leave you here for today. Thank you for joining me in the garden. I appreciate your company as always. Believe it or not, I feel your presence in the garden, especially after reading the comments, because very early I would finish answering your comments, and then I feel like I'm taking you out here in the garden with me. So I appreciate the love and the support, and I see ants and their eggs on my peppers. The chores continue. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you. Remember, leave your comments. It's critical for you to leave your comments. It helps with the algorithm, and it also helps with my mental state. I just appreciate, well, I just like to feel appreciated that you come out in the garden, you do the videos, and then when you share them, persons actually learn or enjoy the videos. Thank you. It means a lot to us content creators. It means a lot. Well, I'm not sure about others. Let me speak for myself. It means a lot to me to know that there are persons that I'm actually helping. If it's even, no, I can't say 100 again, because there are 35,000 and mash of you who have already subscribed, and close to 5 million who have already viewed. And so I know that there are persons who are being helped, and so I appreciate that. Please continue to show your support by just liking and leaving your comment. To my members who joined, thank you for becoming a member of the Farming on the Rocks family. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the contribution. Also, remember there's a community tab where you can share your pictures of your garden, and whatever you'd like to express, you can share that on my community. I appreciate that too. Thank you guys so much for the support. Please subscribe if you've not already done so, and press the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new content. Usually it's every morning unless something goes awry, and from time to time I'll show a video that I did way back that might be helpful, or I keep getting questions about a particular topic. I'll show that video again for persons who are joining recently or new to the channel. So thank you guys for the support. Let me get back to work. See you tomorrow in the next one. Appreciate y'all. Right, I'm gonna use this for the other peanut back there that I didn't mold up yet. I'm going to do that right now before I leave the garden. But I'm leaving you for now. Take care, guys. Bye.